So I went for my first chemo today. It wasn't what I expected. You know. I think it's quite amazing. I know what the stuff is, I know what it's going to do to me. And that the humans of the world have managed to take something as destructive as chemo is and make it acceptable, make it interesting, and yeah, didn't see that one coming. But I have to give them certain things. So they actually did go the extra mile, sort of, kind of, you know what I mean? So after sitting down quietly in this fairly comfortable chair and being connected to the pump which was going to pour the stuff into me, they actually started with a whole lot of things that I didn't expect. So the first part was a calming agent, very small amount. Same sort of stuff they give you just before you go into surgery. And this was followed by a series of things which are designed to be part of this process so that the things chemo does to you, which is make you violently throw up, get diarrhea, don't feel like eating for a week, and all those other wonderful things that it can do. It's designed to stop that from happening, which is quite interesting because it took some thought to be able to do this. So they gave me a series of things. Vitamin B12. I guess if you're going to fill your body with radiation, you need some vitamin B12 to keep the mitochondria alive. Gave me folate, another one of the B vitamins that is fairly needed to keep everything in a functional state. They then gave me a steroid to help prevent swelling of all different kinds. It was quite a lot of steroid, I can feel it, and cortisone is a steroid that I'm intimately familiar with because of the thing that happened with my head. But anyway, I know it was quite a lot because the side effect of prednisone with me is I get something that I call fluffy feet. So it's like the base of my feet are covered in feathers while I'm walking. It's an interesting little feeling. Only happens with prednisone, so I know it was quite a lot of it. They then also decided to hydrate me, so they threw a liter of stuff into my body. And that little process probably took 2.5 hours. So they really did spend time doing the prep work. They then brought out the bags with the red stickers. So any bag that doesn't have a red sticker is just normal stuff. But the minute you see a red sticker on it, that means if you hang around it long enough, it's going to make it glow in the dark. So, red sticker, glow in the dark. I get it. Okay. And the first one is the one that is basically targeting the lungs. And I have to say, the feeling of that stuff going in was not what I expected, and definitely a little weird, if I have to say so. Anyway, they plugged me into it, and I could feel where the stuff was moving around. Now, that's weird, because they're plugging it into a sort of big artery, but I could actually feel it moving things around. Got to one part, all around the lungs, so I could feel that it was, that's where it was going. So that's obviously the place it likes to go, so off it went. But I could feel things like it suddenly made me cough. I could feel the temperature change in my chest, so it kind of warmed up a little bit. I would say that would be swelling of some description happening at the time. So yeah, and that's the sort of small bag of really hard stuff. That's the stuff that's supposed to do all the, earth shattering of the cancer. But like I said, I didn't expect this. They followed that with sort of a clean out bag. It's like a little small sachet of saline, which they clean out the tubes and the pumps and everything, and your veins. And then they followed that with like a really big bag of sort of generalized chemo. I think the idea is the small bag is highly targeted for the lungs and of a higher radiation, I would say. I'm not sure of that. I'm going to have to look that up. And the big bag is sort of more of a low voltage general squisher, just in case there's something else lying around. And that's my chemotherapy. But there was an added piece. And this piece was the bit that sort of got me a bit out of shape. Because in the bone scans, in the CT scans, they noticed that there were some places in my body that had not osteoporosis kind of bone loss, but bone loss that was detectable. Now, they initially thought that that was caused by cancer, being bone cancer. But when they banged the needle into my back, they discovered that the bone was actually quite healthy. And it wasn't cancerous that they could see. So they were going to give me this stuff, and what the stuff is supposed to do is it's supposed to kind of change the bias in your bone to, please grow more, rather than we're happy, we're safe, we thing. It's just an on and off switch. But the interesting thing about this stuff is when they put it into you, it burns. And it's extremely painful for days. So, anyway. So they warned me about this burning sensation and this 3 days worth of pain. And they prepared me by saying I must take a painkiller like 20 minutes before they start pumping this stuff in. And they said that's all as a precaution, and that I may be one of the rare people who accommodates this thing. So I thought, yeah, I'm one of the rare people. All is going to be fine. Of course it wasn't, Don't be silly. This is me. Never happens like that. So they start pouring this stuff into me, and it literally feels like molten lead going through your veins. And you can feel it moving. I mean, it starts out at the big hole where the big needle is in the side of your arm, and then, cruises up your arm, and it goes across, and it links to your chest. And it kind of goes down a bit, and it messes around in the middle of your chest, and then it goes up the other arm, and it goes up your neck, down your back. Anyway. It wasn't too painful because they gave me the painkillers beforehand. And I was just waiting for this to be, more pain than I could deal with. And about 40 minutes later, everything went away. And my body accommodated it. And they were all very happy with that. Because they said only about 60% of people actually accommodate this stuff without the burning. Burns on the way in, irrespective, but it was fine long term. So I am one of those people who got away with it. The other thing that kind of got me going is I was told by the pulmonologist that this bone stuff is like a once-a-year deal. You go in there, you get the shot once a year, and that's about the end of that. But according to the people that mix all these special chemicals, that stuff that he was going to give me, the once-a-year stuff, apparently the technical description would be it's shit. And this stuff is better. With one caveat, I've got to have it every time I go and have the chemo. And in 6 rounds' time, my bone density should be back to 100% normal, which is wonderful. We'll go with that. That'll work. And the other thing that I asked was how long before my critical back pain becomes tolerable, and I was told it is completely dependent on how your body reacts to all this stuff and how big the tumor is and how close the tumor is to squashing whatever nerve is causing me the pain. So at the moment I'm still filled with prednisone, so that's kind of calming the pain down and making me feel pretty good. Plus, of course, I swallowed a painkiller because I was pouring the lava into my arms at the time, so that's also making me feel good. So I think tonight's probably going to be reasonably pain-free until the prednisone starts wearing off. And then we'd have to wait and see how long it takes for this to reduce the back pain. Now the pain meds that I'm on are still pain, which they can be habit forming, but it's rare. And my prescription is 2 tablets 4 times a day, but I'm generally more like 2 tablets twice a day, which protects my kidneys, keeps everything ticking over nicely. And I was told by the head nurse in the cancer place that those tablets can be used very reliably and not be addictive and not cause problems to the kidneys, provided before you take the tablet you dump 500 ml of liquid in your body. So if you drink a half a litre of whatever the hell you want, that's water, so rehydrate or energite or anything, and then you take the 2 tablets. Firstly, it works quicker, it comes on quicker, and lasts longer, and doesn't mess with your kidneys. Yeah. Win, win, win. Anyway, so I should be back down to 2 tablets again after all this stuff wears off. Probably won't take any tablets tonight because I don't have any pain. But like I say, I was very not prepared for the fact that they've made it all seem so normal. You know, you actually want to be there, you know. Just putting poison in your arms, you don't want to be there. But, you know, it's amazing how humans move things around and they say, well, yeah, you know, this is good stuff. We'll paint the walls nice. We'll give you a comfortable chair. We'll put the pump thing behind you, not in front of you, so that you can't see the stuff going in. All the nurses basically are well dressed in nursing gear. They all wear gloves. The little red packets, well, all the stuff is sort of stored off to one side. Everything's on wheels, so if you decide you need to go for a pee, you just, you know, drag the pump along with you. You can't stop it going in, you've got to keep it going. Drag the pump with you, you're going to pee or whatever it is you need to do, and then you come back out again. And I was really surprised that, you know, this wasn't so bad. So you think about it, it's all manipulation and all the other things, but the fact of the matter is, it was not nearly as scary as I thought. I haven't got round to the side effects. So when I got home, I was a little nauseous. Didn't do anything about it. I just left it and all the rest of it. And about 3 hours later, I wasn't nauseous anymore. In fact, I was reasonably hungry. So I went and got some food and threw it in, and it didn't react, stayed down for now. So yeah, all good. There seems to be a slight change in the way that I'm coughing. Don't know why that would be. No clue, in fact, why that would be. My oxygen level has dropped 1 point, which is nothing. So it's sitting now on 94 rather than 95. Can't see that as really being a big thing. Did cough up a little bit of blood while I was still all plugged into all these things, and everybody came around and had a look at what kind of blood it was and the colour of it and the shape of it and all the other bits and pieces, and it only happened once, so they figured it was just a cough reflex that threw this particular stuff up. That was my first day of poisoning. Day 2 will be in 21 days time from today. The only problem with this is every time they do this, it's going to be 5 hours. I'm going to sit in that chair for 5 hours while they slowly drip all this stuff in. And apparently they can't do multiple drips, so they can't speed it up and dump it into you quicker, because that messes with the efficacy of the way they've structured the program, as it were. This stuff, this long, this speed gives you this result. You know, and the next stuff is this much at this speed because it's to do this. Anyway. So, yeah. I did the thing. I didn't melt down. That was one good thing. I didn't melt down. The people there were very courteous, very well. They looked after me, which I guess is their job. We'll see what it does to me. If it does anything weird, then I'll make another video. Have a lucky day.